Some stories don't just shake a community, they shatter it. They begin like any other ordinary day, but by nightfall, they descend into a nightmare so unthinkable it leaves scars that never fade. This is one of those stories. On the evening of August 14, 2025, 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro vanished in Yucaipa, California. His disappearance sparked a desperate search, a wave of unanswered questions, and a chilling investigation that would soon turn back toward the very people closest to him. His parents. What really happened to Emmanuel? Was he the victim of a random abduction? Or is the truth far more complicated? Tonight, we're digging into the disappearance that has haunted California for a week, and the disturbing shadows cast by Emmanuel's own family history. Welcome back to Criminally Human, where behind every headline is a story, a person, and a tragedy that didn't have to happen. On the evening of August 14, 2025, Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, reported that she was outside a Big Five sporting goods store in Yucaipa when tragedy struck. She told investigators she had laid her infant son on the ground to change his diaper. Suddenly, she claimed she heard a man say, "Hola," felt a blow and lost consciousness. When she awoke, her baby was gone. Police rushed to the scene. K-9 units were deployed, officers canvassed the area, and Emmanuel's description was circulated. 7 months old, about 21 pounds, with brown eyes, brown hair, and a distinctive crossed eye. At first glance, it seemed like a horrifying random abduction. But almost immediately, investigators began noticing inconsistencies in Rebecca's story. She initially spoke with officers but soon refused further questioning, and that raised red flags. Before we move on, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Law enforcement stressed that while they were treating the case seriously, they could not rule out foul play. Detectives secured surveillance footage from the area, contradicting Rebecca's statement that there were no cameras nearby. They also executed search warrants at the family home in Cabazon, searching for any sign of Emmanuel. Cadaver dogs were spotted on the property. As the case gained media attention, a non-profit organization offered a $5,000 reward for Emmanuel's safe return. But soon after, even that group backed away. They cited concerns about inconsistencies in the parents' stories and their refusal to stay in communication with advocates. Rebecca's ex-husband, the father of her 2 older daughters, spoke to reporters and expressed deep skepticism about her account. His chilling words were blunt. "Only she knows the truth." Attention then turned toward Emmanuel's father, Jake Haro. And what emerged was a deeply concerning criminal history. In 2018, Jake was arrested in Hemet, California, and later convicted of child cruelty. Court records show that in 2023, he pleaded guilty to willful cruelty to a child. For that, he served 6 months in jail and was placed on probation. But his legal troubles didn't end there. In 2024, he was convicted on charges of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition, as well as being a narcotics addict with access to weapons. These charges underscored his pattern of violence and instability. By the time Emmanuel disappeared, Jake remained on probation, facing the possibility of being sent back to jail if he violated the terms of his release. These revelations painted a grim backdrop. Not only was Emmanuel missing, but his father's history of child abuse and criminal behavior cast a long shadow over the investigation. As news spread, the local community was shaken. Vigils were held outside the Big Five store where Emmanuel was last seen. Neighbors lit candles, held posters, and prayed for his safe return. The image of a missing baby boy brought many to tears. But behind the prayers was growing unease. Why had an Amber Alert not been issued? Police explained that Amber Alerts require a confirmed abductor description or vehicle details. In Emmanuel's case, there was none. For many, this was frustrating. A baby was missing, yet the usual system of urgent alerts was not triggered. Community members whispered about the parents. Some questioned Rebecca's story, while others pointed directly to Jake's criminal past. Many asked the same question. If the parents weren't telling the whole truth, where was Emmanuel? Experts in criminal psychology noted troubling patterns in Rebecca's account. In fabricated abduction cases, it is common for a parent to describe being attacked, blacking out, and waking to find a child gone. The vague details, no clear description of the attacker, no eyewitnesses, and sudden refusal to cooperate with police, all raised suspicions. Meanwhile, investigators quietly removed the Haro's 2-year-old child from the home, placing them in protective custody. It was a strong indication that authorities saw a serious risk to the other child's safety. With Rebecca refusing interviews and Jake's record under scrutiny, the Haro story quickly unraveled in the public eye. Court filings exposed Jake's violent past, and neighbors described seeing police swarming their Cabazon home. Reporters pressed both parents for answers, but silence and secrecy only deepened suspicions. For many following the case, the biggest fear was that Emmanuel might never be found alive. Yet hope persisted. Hope that perhaps, against the odds, he had been taken and left somewhere safe. As of now, Emmanuel remains missing. Police have not named either parent as suspects, but they have not cleared them either. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department continues to investigate, examining surveillance footage, conducting forensic searches, and interviewing anyone who might know more. Authorities have asked the public to stay vigilant. Anyone with information about Emmanuel's disappearance is urged to contact the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Dispatch at 909-387-8313. This case is tragic, disturbing, and unfinished. A baby boy is missing, and the two people who should have protected him the most are at the center of suspicion. Was Emmanuel abducted by a stranger, as Rebecca claimed? Or does the truth lie much closer to home? Until answers come, the community waits. They light candles, hold vigils, and cling to hope. But the deeper investigators dig into the Haro family's past, the more this case feels like one built not on mystery, but on heartbreak. This is the story of Emmanuel Haro, a 7-month-old baby caught in the shadows of secrets and suspicion. We will continue to cover this story. This is giving Casey Anthony vibes, and I'm just waiting to hear about a Zanny the Nanny here as well. Please like and subscribe, but most of all, stay human.